stream. So, hey everybody, this is Frank, your all-knowing gamer, coming at you with some more League of Legends. Today we're going to be watching the ESL Premier League. This is going to be one of the games in the group stages. Alongside me is Rapid. This is going to be Berries Bananas, which you see at the bottom of your screen right now, spawning purple side, versus the blue team, which is going to be Team Lzuruha. One thing that I noticed in the beginning, and I'm going to try to call this properly right now, is the fact that, first of all, Janna was banned and Cassiopeia from Team Berries Bananas, which I think is a great way to go. I think banning Cassiopeia and then picking Galio is really, really smart, because Galio's only real counter mid lane is Cassiopeia, I find. There's a couple other ones that come close, but nobody really does it quite like Cassiopeia. But I'm going to call it right now. Lzuruha did a great thing in picking Alistar first and foremost, and then faking that he was going to be support and then going Taric. So my call right now is going to be that Alistar ganks mid very, very early on.
All right, yeah, like you said, this is Lzuruha versus Berries Bananas, and it looks like we do already have people watching the stream, so shout-outs to whoever's out there. And a little bit of a history behind Berries Bananas. To let you guys know what this tournament is, this is the group stages for the third season of the ESL's Premier League. So everybody in the different groups play one another. And actually, first blood may go down here. The stun is off there. The pulverize is down, and will DT777 go down? Slushy picks up first blood as he just walks right into this bush. And from personal experience, I can definitely tell you guys I've done the same thing. So I know what that feels like, and it does not feel very good. Back to introductions for the team. Berries Bananas are, they play in a lot of go for lols. They usually get past, first couple rounds. They're a solid 1,500-1,600 team. And as far as Berry Banana is, the namesake for the team, he definitely plays a lot of Twitch, builds him really attack speed heavy, and does pretty well with him. Has about a 60% win ratio with about 75 ranked games, so he definitely knows what he's doing as far as that Twitch pick. It's not like a massive troll or anything else. He's going to stealth, he's going to go in here on this blue, but not find anybody else, and that may allow Berry Bananas to go ahead and pick that up. Actually, Olaf is rolling up there, so Talandra may actually bite off a little bit more than he can chew. They see him walk by there, so they know no one's going to start blue buff, and that's going to be a pretty easy counter juggle to start the game for them.
Yeah, and here we go. You can see the Alistar on the opposite end of things is going to take Wolf, so that's definitely going to be a small advantage there. As you can see, the enemy team, Berries Bananas, are going to be just chilling out on that blue buff, waiting for it to spawn, whereas the Wolf camp has gone down here, and one blue Wolf is going to be remaining. So Skarner going to be left there with a little bit of a
oh, but Slushy's rolling around there. They're going to switch immediately off onto Slushy. Ignite goes off, Exhaust goes off, but the stun onto Grand Skydoom will probably get Slushy out of there alive. And now that Talandra is coming down here, the blue buff is actually successfully counter juggled, but that is two very offensive summoners blown, and now Slushy's going to have to go back to mid. But meanwhile, Big McLarge Huge, probably the most grandiose name I've ever seen, will be running mid lane on what it looks like is going to be an AP Lulu.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of whack. I definitely think this is the way you want to go if you're going to be playing against a team like this. Use your solo lane to go up against, or use your solo lane to pick a really strange champion. Specifically one that's the newest out there. Definitely a good way to go, because it's really hard to play against something that you're not sure about. So definitely I think that's a good way to go. One thing to note though is that the flash is still up for Slushy. He could have used that at any point, but he opted not to, and you can see here Berry Banana is going to be going top here with Skarner, and Talandra, I don't know if he's going to be too aware of this. Out he comes with the red buff on him, and I think, yeah, Talandra knew what was going on there. He saw the end of the cloak from Twitch. Really, really bad play there, actually, unfortunately, for Berry Banana at level 1 with that red buff. Not going to work out too well for him, as Galio is going to try to hold bottom lane with this Roman Twitch.
Yeah, and that's just really rough. He just misplayed that situation a little bit, and that made all the difference, as Twitch is still sitting around at level 1. He's just roaming. He's going to try for another gank, and will we see it be as successful as it was last time? Slushy does still have his flash up, and his Ignite is just off of cooldown, so he could actually just turn around and burst down Berry Banana. If his shield is up, he uses his shield to block most of that poison damage, and so there's not really going to be very much going on right there. Bottom lane, Galio is going to be able to wave clear that relatively effectively, but he's getting harassed down really, really badly by Digester, and there he goes. He's dropping that super hard mid lane.
Brutal. Yeah, that was pretty crazy there. Twitch actually saw Alistar coming in there, but with the stun coming out from Sion, unfortunately not going to work out too well for him. But top lane, though, Talandra trades kills with the Warwick, which is actually ridiculously impressive considering Warwick's sustain in lane. And now you've got Twitch at level 2 cloaking here away from Sion. And if Slushy is able to get up his shield and go at this Twitch, I definitely think that's going to spell doom for him. And here we go. In comes the bull here with the pulverize. Going to be making sure to headbutt that back. And there it is, picking up that kill.
Ooh, and that headbutt right there at the end for the kill is just brutal looking. Twitch really didn't stand a chance, and already Barry Banana's strategy is going a little bit awry. So Big McLarge Huge needs to watch out there for the Alistar gank, but Testicles just going to roll around there to bottom lane, and he has been incredibly successful as far as ganks are concerned, but he will actually be walking through a ward. A really good idea here from DT777, but Testicles does not afraid of anything. He's going to walk right by the ward and give up the kill to Digester, who combined with the stun there from Atomic was able to pick up the kill under turrets. So not a whole lot of things going right so far here for Barry Bananas, but Twitch is coming in stealth into the top lane, and will Talandra actually see what's up? He's actually going to try to trade with Stevie Starfruit, and I'm not sure if he knows what's up as far as Twitch is concerned, but man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at the fact that these two guys, I think they tried to get a clan name started up here. Stevie Starfruit and Barry Banana. Kind of cute, but yeah, that definitely did not work out too well. And now with Twitch at level 2, this is looking really, really tough here.
He did just hit level 3, so this could be a kill on Talandra. Oh, Talandra not looking in a good position, and that will be the second kill of the game for Barry's Bananas. And I don't know, as Twitch start to kick into gear, could we see the beginning of what I would consider a long comeback? Maybe, as Twitch, once he starts snowballing, he snowballs really hard. But he's got to get to that point first, and squishy as he is, it's going to take a few more successful ganks like that to pull that off.
Yeah, and you got to keep in mind that he's actually not the one who's getting the kill there. That I think the first one did go down to Warwick as well. Yeah, Twitch now sitting on 1 death, 1 assist, so that's... Oops, I'm throwing around my HUD there. But yeah, not working out too well there. And here down at bottom lane, you see Skarner coming in for a gank. That's not going to work too well. In fact, Digester's actually going to try to turn that one around. Getting a lot of auto attacks here, and from what I've seen, a lot of Digester play. He loves to use that heal to bait. You can see that's still online, and there's no way that they're going to pick up that kill down at bottom lane. And Alistar coming in here as well with the slow going forward there, flashing forward from Atomic, trying to look for that stun, which would have certainly spelled doom there for one of those characters. And Sion now stepping in here. This is a really, really heavy action lane right now.
And Testicles just tanking the turret. They're going in there onto Galio. The stun is out. The knockup is good. And the Ignite will pick up the kill there. For actually, Digester's auto is picking that up. And that will be one more kill and the first turret of the game for Lzuruha.
And it looks like this is definitely a good spot to go for the Dragon here. Digester, yeah, they were both, it looked like Atomic and Digester just traded turns there going back. But definitely not a good idea here. I think going for Dragon might be a good call. Although with everybody stepping in the lane and you've got a Twitch roaming, it might not be the greatest idea. So yeah, Digester is going to go back here. And I think, though, everybody kind of needs to stick around. Skarner's going to spot this one, though. Digester's going to get jumped on here, but with 4 characters right around the corner here, Grand Sky Doom is going to have to back off, though he's going to keep trying to mess with these guys, throwing out his Q and just trying to get these guys to slow down. This is actually kind of hilarious to watch.
Yeah, Atomic and Digester both stopped from going back. This could actually be pretty bad. The heal is up there for Digester. We will see it used pretty soon. Yeah, there it goes, saving Atomic's life. Now, Grand Sky Doom is really low, but that will be the kill there on Tarek. But DT777 actually gets ulted there by Lulu and will be able to get out of there with his Bulwark online. Barry Banana will fall in the ensuing chaos, but Big McLarge Huge now is going to get hit by that Olaf Axe, getting slowed. Will he get hit by the second one? Yes, he does, but DT777 is coming back in. Will he actually land the slow? Big McLarge Huge needs to get really big right now. Actually, enough of harassment there to get himself out of there alive. Warwick's coming down. Slushy is a cute little bunny, and that will allow, well, both teams to pretty much just, like, not do anything.
You know, I tell him Slushy that he's a cutesy little bunny all the time, regardless of whether he's got the Lulu ability on him. I haven't played Lulu, so I don't know what key that corresponds to, but Slushy is always a cutesy little bunny in my heart. But yeah, they end up going a little bit too aggressive there, I think, was Team Lzuruha. They did end up having things go in their favor, but I think there were a lot of opportunities where Barry's Bananas could have really picked up some a kill or two, as they did stop them from going back, and they were pretty low in health for a while there. And not to mention, the Summoner heal got used at a pretty not preferable timing there as well. But it looks like now switching, where you've got, I think, Olaf's going to head down bottom lane. Yeah, he is down there, and you've got the duo lane up top.
Oh, and actually they went in on Atomic. They didn't see Slushy coming up from behind or Ted Stickles, and that is an incredibly dead Twitch.
Yeah, and the CS actually here going in favor as well for Team Lzuruha here. You got 3 characters above 40 CS, and only one of them, actually only one of them above 30 right now for Team Barry Bananas. And that's really going to spell doom for them. You've got 20 CS on Twitch, 3 deaths and no kills. So he's sitting on 2 Doran's Blades and level 1 boots versus, it kind of looks like 2 Doran's Blades and level 1 boots, but that's definitely a BF sword. So a huge advantage in terms of who's got the better range AD right now. In mid lane, actually, Olaf getting jumping on Big McLarge. Huge here. Is he going to pick up the kill? No, he's not, going under tower and actually getting turned around here by this Lulu.
Yeah, man, he went in there and then he decided, oh wait, I'm out. Oh wow, he could actually go down here. Lulu is on the hunt. Will this be enough to pick up the kill? And yes, looks like they both will go down there, thanks to the Lulu ult, letting her live just long enough to pick up the kill, but then falling down herself.
Top lane, a lot of action happening there as well, as a flash over the wall from Digester. He does get picked off though by, I think, the poison from Twitch, and then Atomic fail flashing over the wall right behind Golem Camp there. So 9-6 now, and a 4K gold advantage here for Team Lzuruha. I think they're really getting out of themselves caught out here, going up against a Twitch Warwick and a Skarner with a very low health. Misfortune definitely did not go in their favor there, so things got turned around really well there.
Yeah, I think the Jester says it best. Twitch is starting to get a little bit OP there, and by OP I mean he has about 2,000 gold to his name right now, so he's not exactly the richest little Twitch. Has about 26 last hits, as he has been kind of splitting the jungle, but his roaming has kind of paid off. You see he's been part of 3 kills, so that is about half the kills there for Barry's Bananas, and I guess that's what they need to do. They really need to have Twitch come back in this game, start to get off a little bit of his shenanigan-alicious ults, and that is probably the only way that they're going to get back in this. Twitch just has to make himself useful, otherwise they're just going to be playing a 4v5.
Yeah, and the lane situation here is really weird. Once that bot lane and top lane, actually Skarner going to get picked off here as well, with the Launcher just smashing down on that, following up the Taric stun. But like I was saying before, the lane situation is kind of funky right now, and it's actually not going in the favor of Lzuruha, as we notice that the kills are starting to go a little bit more, not so one-sided. Dragon will go down here, and I think that's what they needed to do in Team Lzuruha. I think they are a little bit better of a coordinated team. And actually mid lane here, Warwick's going to jump onto Slushy. Not really do that much damage though. He did have red buff ticking, but a lot of damage now coming out. Lulu's going to have to pop her ult onto this Warwick, who does get ignited. So, but he's going to get away there just fine. But yeah, that being a better coordinated team, I think going for that earlier Dragon would have been in their better interest. But now they're going to pick it up, and you can see the advantage that brought, with now a 6k gold advantage at the 12-minute mark, or 12.5-minute mark.
Yeah, like you said, it's so early in this game, but already so many kills, and it looks like actually Stevie Starfruit gets out of there alive, and the health advantage is actually, well, not on Skarner right now, as he does get picked up, but now Big McLarge, Huge, and D777 are in the danger zone, but it looks like they will be able to make it out of there alive. Big McLarge, Huge, actually is going to get stunned and goes down to the true damage there from Talandra, so 12-6 now for the kill. Slushy barely making it out of there alive, but he does himself get out. And now doubling up the kills for Barry Bananas. So, I don't know. Twitch is actually scouting out Slushy. He really wants to jump in for that kill. He has plenty of stealth left, but Slushy's in the middle of his team, so I don't think Twitch really wants to do that.
Yeah, and it looks like this mid lane is going to get pushed down here. Digester actually takes 2 tower shots, a little bit unnecessarily, but now blue buff up for grabs as well for the enemy team's blue buff. And the warding situation here definitely going in favor of Team Lzuruha. They got a ward on blue buff, and they've got a ward right outside that Wraith Camp brush, and that's definitely the way you want to go, as well as 2 other wards right on the opposite side of blue. And this is one thing that they do very well, is if they're going to have a lot of action on one side, they're going to ward that side. And typically early game, that action's going to happen bottom lane, and then eventually it'll switch up to top lane. But with that tower being cracked so early top lane, the team fighting situation now is just all over the place. And although I think at first it went in favor of Team Berries Bananas, now I think Lzuruha is starting to put their stuff together and figure out what they got to do, and it's definitely working for them.
Yeah, pretty much all stealthies are kind of like those really good pub stompers. You know, if given a random situation, they can really turn things around and have a lot of shenanigans up their sleeves. But when you're going up against a team as professional and coordinated as Lzuruha, there's not a whole lot you can pull on them as far as those, mischievous, devious schemes are concerned, and that's definitely what Twitch relies on. But as mischievous as they may be, it looks like Lzuruha, like you said, is starting to come together, and once they do, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot that Berries Bananas can do to stop them.
Yeah, they're really picking stuff up right now. And Twitch, like you mentioned, actually, he is a pretty good pub stomper, and that's I have to assume why the win ratio is so great for him, because it does work very well. And actually, it looks like here Warwick's going to get peeled off here by the Scion and Alistar combination. Skarner, though, going to step in here, level 7 and the level 7 Galio as well. So you can see that getting caught out there a little bit is Slushy and Ted Stickles there. And with the ward actually being dropped down there, they're going to see all these characters running around. Twitch is stealthed right now, and no pink ward and no oracles, but here they go, getting a lot of damage off there. Missing the Q, though, from Ted Stickles, getting a little bit sloppy. Great ultimate there, but a better ultimate in return from Galio. A huge fight coming out here. Lulu looks like she might go down here soon. There she goes down to the Axe Throw, and that's always a cool way to get killed, but Galio might get picked off here as well. Is the E ready? No, but the Axe Throw is, and Talandra is going to pick up that kill as well. Now he's going to start kiting around here and hopefully pick up another kill. Skarner, level 8, not high enough, and Twitch is going to have to turn back around here after picking up that kill on Alistar, so it looks like that did go in the favor of Team Berries Bananas there, but really, really funky trade there, and now just Twitch and Warwick left alive, but Slushy's now going to step back into the fray here. And this is going to be a really, really weird situation over the next 2 minutes, as it's going to be difficult to find a good clump. But again, double flash coming out there, and boom goes the shield, so Twitch will get picked up.
Oh, it was so painful to watch. Like, Twitch had his stealth like 99% complete, but the persistent damage kept him unstealth, and you could just see them change stun, and then eventually drop that shield. That would have mattered if Twitch was stealth or not. He was going to explode, just like Scion's shield did. So now there is actually an Oracles here for Grand Sky Doom. He knows that there are wards all over the jungle, especially this nice little Orion's belt of wards up through the red buff, which is actually still up. So if Skarner rolls around up there, he's going to be able to pick off those wards. And so, I don't know. I don't think an Oracles is necessarily what you want to get when you're this far behind. And by this far behind, I mean they have just closed in on about a 7,000 gold lead. Even though that they did come back there to a 5-kill deficit, although now it's back up to 6. So it's still relatively close. Like I said, Twitch is still the big X factor. If he starts to, get his train running, it's going to be really hard for Lzuruha to stop them. But with as many skills as they have, as far as click stuns and then the Alistar, Twitch is going to have a really rough time doing any form of carrying this game.
Yeah, and one thing to note here is that MF actually is catching me off at how low her CS is right now. 97 CS, typically not something you see on any MF, let alone Digester's MF. I definitely think that there's been a lot of weird situations this game, and it's kind of thrown him off. He is up to 3 kills, of course, but with only that BF sword, I had to note that he does have 1,500 in the bank right now, and here comes a lot of damage onto this tower. Not going to be enough here, though, and Slushy is going to take some damage, though, but popping that shield going to help to alleviate some of that pain. And Galio actually throwing out his Q, making sure to pop that shield. And actually, level 7 Alistar for Ted Stickles, not something that he wants to have right now, as he is actually by far the lowest level character in the game right now. I think Alistar is kind of a weird jungle, and this might be their testing grounds for him. And I don't think Ted Stickles is going to leave this one saying, hey, let's do this again, because he's a really, really slow jungler, and I don't think that Ted Stickles is having a really good time adjusting to this.
Yeah, Alistar actually missed the ward there from Barry's Bananas that Lzruha did just walk over, so that's going to be a little bit of info that they will have that Lzruha will not. A word will be dropped there in the bush by the Wraith, but there comes the Initiate. The Shirelius is popped. Big McLarge Hughes gets exhausted, but they will speed himself away from there. So no kills picked up, but the kill on the turret top as Barry's Bananas do backdoor that successfully. Now it looks like even though Twitch is split up, Atomic getting bursted down below half health, and this turret will fall, making it 4 turrets to 1 in favor of Lzruha. But there goes in the Initiate from Alistar. Atomic actually will go down there as well. Stevie Starfruit getting bursted down, but then saved by the old DT777 will fall in exchange. Talandra dropping down dangerously low. Grand Skydoom will fall there instead of picking up the kill there on Talandra, and there goes Warwick as well. So that is 4 for 1 in favor of Lzruha, and now I don't know, man. It looks like Lzruha will push in onto the mid turret, and there's not a whole lot that Barry's Bananas can do. There comes in the exhaust. Here goes Twitch. Will he be effective at picking up at least 1 kill? Gets 1. Will he get a second? No. Goes down, and that is the ace for Team Lzruha.
Yeah, and if I think anyone deserved to have that banner put up and say that they scored an ace, it was definitely Digester there. Picking up the triple kill, and I think the triple kill was deserved for him as well, as that ultimate caught 4 characters in it for a very, very long duration. Now looking at the gold here, went from 3-2 to 7-2, and now has 4,000 gold in the bank roughly. So make sure, or definitely keep an eye on what items the Jester goes back to shop for. I have to assume it's going to be an Infinity Edge or at least a Bloodthirster, and then moving right into a Phantom Dancer. I think it's going to be the way that he opts to go here. So we're going to see exactly what comes out there, but a huge amount of kills now for Digester.
Scumbag Slushy was racing Digester for the bottom farm, and Digester was using as much strut as he possibly could, but Slushy just walked up there, exploded over everything, and took all of that luscious farm. So now Digester will go back, and we will see what he opts to pick up. He's probably going to go for that Infinity Edge and then maybe a Zeal next. Oh, I'm so good at this game.
Yeah, that's definitely the way he wants to go. And now we got to see, though, is he going to pick up the green elixir? Typically, when you have the Eye Edge and the Zeal, that's really a spot that you don't want to be in, because you have to you have to debate whether or not it's a good idea to get the green pod. Definitely if you have Eye Edge PD, that's a way to go. Ooh, it looks like Lulu's going to get caught out here. And down. Ooh.
Oh, whoa, what? What?
Yeah.
What is this?
Wow, not going to be enough there. But yeah, and now actually 3 characters there coming in to save, but they're only going to find Lulu's corpse. Alistar comes in with the Pulverize and looks for the headbutt, but I think he realized that he would have headbutted Twitch over the wall to safety. And there's the Shirelias as well. But yeah, so like I was saying, definitely when you get PD, you want a green elixir, but he just held onto quite a bit of gold actually there. But I don't think it's going to matter all that much at this point of the game, as it is really, really one-sided right now.
There we go, the exhaust out on Grand Skydoom. He's actually going to get headbutted to safety, but Stevie Starfruit, the partner in crime to Barry Banana, will actually fall down there. Where is Twitch and what is he doing? He's actually coming up from behind. He has a double dagger, and Slushy's actually going to get picked off here by the turret. One more shot will pick up the kill there. That Stiggles headbutting Grand Skydoom back, and now Atomic's not really in the best position, but Barry Banana will go down. Grand Skydoom drops his ult, but that probably would have been better used on Talandra, who's just kind of attacking minions for the win. And now Grand Skydoom, even though he had higher health at one point, is going to go down to the true damage from Talandra, who actually almost dies to turret, but also picks up the ace, and that will be probably the game, as one Nexus turret is down and the next one could fall if Lzruha decides to push their advantage.
Yeah, and Warwick is actually dancing next to the Nexus currently, using his Howl to spot these guys out, but that's not going to be enough there. And I definitely think it was a good play there, though, from Talandra. He went off to the side, he started healing himself up with that auto attack as much as he possibly could, as he does have the Riddle's Lantern, and especially with the Spirit Visage, healing himself up pretty quickly, and then going in there, just having enough health to pick up that Skarner. And waiting, actually, to auto attack underneath that turret was a great idea, too, just so he could use that E. And it looks like actually Atomic. Oh no, he should have just let it go. It looks like the slow coming up from Talandra in that axe throw. Is it going to be enough though? No, it's not. Warwick's going to jump over the wall there. And Atomic using his ultimate, trying to heal himself up there with his own heal. Not going to be enough there as well. As Slushy now getting in a bad spot, and ultimate going on Twitch. That's the biggest red I ever saw, but here we go. Slushy is going to get picked off here as well, getting turned into a bunny, and like we said before, he's a very cute bunny. But,
those throws, man, master ball status right here. It just, you throw it out and you can't help but catch somebody. Ted Stickles actually jumping in the middle. Will the Jester actually be the hero of the day? It looks like he will actually go down, and now Ted Stickles is the only member for Lzuruha left alive for not very long. He will fall down. That's a counter ace by Barry's Bananas. It's 28-19. They're almost 10 kills down, and they just aced Lzuruha and will pick up the Baron off of this. Galio needs to make sure not to die to that, but that will be the ace and the Baron, and with super minions in the base, they're still at a disadvantage, but oh my goodness, definitely, making the most out of a bad situation and doing an amazing job coming back.
Yeah, this is kind of wild, and I definitely have to say that there's some sloppiness here going on from Team Lzuruha. They got caught out, and it was all because if Atomic just wouldn't have moved, they wouldn't have gotten aced. Like, literally, that's where the snowball effect started happening. If he wouldn't have moved, he would have went back, and then nobody on Barry's Bananas would have even considered going to Baron. They went over to red, in a group of 3 to red buff, just so they could get red buff, and Atomic was actually really close to going back, so that was kind of silly there. And, it just goes to show how those little things can just turn into really, really big problems. Now with the Oracles, though, Tarek is definitely still going to be doing some work for his team. And, of course, with that Shirelia's is going to be a pretty huge factor as well. And now they're clumped up, and now things, I think, are going to go very, very well for Team Lzuruha if they can get a pretty decent engage off.
Alright, the Jester, and actually Slushy is very low as well. And here comes the Initiate. Will Ted Stickles be able to disengage fast enough? D777 will actually catch 3, but then be instantly stunned away. Slushy actually going to go down. The ult is off on Twitch. He is in the very back. He gets exhausted immediately. Will Talana or BA actually will go down there. Looks like Barry's Bananas will fall to Ted Stickles, but now they're going to jump onto Digester. Grand Skydoom taking about as much damage as he can. And now Digester's doing such a good job kiting in the very back. Big, large, huge needs to be careful as he's going to get dropped down very low as well. Stevie Starfruit is out of mana, and now D77 and company will be forced to use Galio's, Gust to get out of there, but will he actually get out? No, the excellent crit there from a Misfortune will pick up the kill. Actually, Big Large Huge goes back in the brush right there by the turret, and Digester turning that fight around, making it even, going 2 for 2 there. And now it looks like Lzuruha will pick up one more turret in their never-ending quest, but Ted Stickles gets ulted there by Grand Skydoom. Could he go down? Will we see a Hex go off there? He will actually get popped immediately, and now Atomic and Digester really need to get out of dodge, as they definitely don't need to throw this game one more time. Barry's Bananas actually gets chugged there thanks to that Tarek stun, and now Stevie Starfruit could go down as well. Will we actually see him fall? The red buff slow is on, but it looks like he will be able to get back to the Nexus in time.
Yeah, and this is, one of those things. I think Ted Stickles is doing something that he's not used to, and I actually think Slushy's doing something that I don't think he's actually played all that much, especially not in tournament play. And it looks like Atomic's going to get caught out here as well. But the Jester certainly is playing something that he's used to, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's finding situations where he can just pick up kills as best as he possibly can, because the coordination is really what's the problem right now for Team Lzuruha, and things are really getting turned around on them now. Only 12k ahead. I mean, it is 12k, but that advantage certainly could have been a lot better. And Slushy, before that fight, took like 6 or 7 tower shots unnecessarily, and nobody was really helping him take out that turret. So things just got really just blown up in their face, and I cannot wait for an actually well-coordinated team fight to go off here, because they're really not giving their AD carry the opportunities that he needs.
Yeah, Ted Stickles is actually triple potted right now. I'm not sure how many Alistars you see glowing that brightly, but he actually did go for all 3 potions, and after filling up all 6 of his item slots, he really didn't want to turn any of his gold per 5 items, and he did actually buy 3 of them into other items, so he's just going to keep with them and opt for triple potions. But so Slushy's going to be running around mid lane, and like you said, Slushy did take a lot of early damage to start off that fight, and so hopefully that's not going to be the case this time around.
Yeah, and you can see there the stun going out from Slushy. I think that's a good call, just cracking the Banshee's Veil front onto Skarner, so now he's going to be without Banshee's Veil for a little while longer. And we're going to see, though, they're going to push in. Where is the coordination here? It looks like Alistar not in the fray. Talandra going off to Wraith Camp. Atomic leading the charge here with only Slushy behind. And you've got Misfortune off down middle lane somewhere. So if Atomic gets grabbed here, that's going to be an Oracles and a character dead for the impending team fight, which is certainly going to happen here. And I definitely think that it would be in Team Berries Bananas to have engaged at some point in there. And there we go. There's the engage, but with Digester in the fray there. Going to use a great ultimate, but so much damage here going off onto this team. Lzuruha is going to lose, pick up the Twitch. Twitch is going to down Scion, and it looks like here finally, with a little bit of coordination and with the Jester on his main character now, they are going to pick this one up, but Skarner's going to get picked up there as well in the background. With Atomic actually now focusing down the Lulu, it looks like she will not die, but enough damage there coming out, and like I mentioned, they needed to give the Jester that opportunity, and without being inside that ultimate, the Jester had that great opportunity and definitely used it very, very well, and this is definitely going to be GG here.
Wow, and actually that Moonflare, Spellblade, Abyssal Scepter, Haunting Guys, and Zork Shoes on Big McLarge Huge. So if you guys are looking to play some AP Lulu, that's apparently how you do it, as he's chunking Digester really hard there. But as Ted Stickles is focusing on actually not the Nexus, just killing off the minions, it looks like Digester could actually go down here, will go down to Berries Bananas. Are we going to see probably one of the bigger throws of this game? There have been a lot of them. Alistar will fall, Atomic will get slowed there, and he will go down as well. Only Slushy and Talandra are alive. They are just coming back alive from being back at base, and the throws are so bad in this game. Oh my goodness, it just does not stop.
Yeah, this is getting pretty wild here. Everybody just getting caught out. One thing to note there, that Twitch actually did the right thing, leading with the Ignite, breaking his stealth with the Ignite, because he knew that there was going to be a couple of heals coming. He knew that if MF had her summoner heal up, she was going to use it there. And then, of course, with Tarkert being right around the corner, he's going to use that heal there as well. But yeah, just wild, man. Like, how many friggin' throws are going on? I mean, you know, that's a great word to use, because they are throwing this game real hard right now, although the situation is still a 13,000 gold advantage, but they had 14,000 gold advantage, and now with the Jester disconnecting, this is going to be a big issue here, because they could have ended the game at 20 minutes, and that's what Lzuruha likes to do, and now they've given these guys hope. GG was even called, and they still actually have a chance in this game, although they only have one turret, so this is actually kind of funny. There's so many like every turret is down except for that bottom lane one, which I think Slushy's looking to take care of right now, but every turret being down, you should have a huge advantage, way more than 13,000, and that's not the case right now.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, right, what you said is true. They are down a lot of gold, a lot of kills, and a lot of turrets. So by all rights, every single thing points to an easy peasy, you know, lemon squeezy victory for Lzuruha, but they just have not been able to make it happen. Whether it's a lack of coordination or just a lack of I don't know, or an excess of skill here from Berries Bananas. Apparently, they have been eating their fruit and doing some work this game, as far as, you know, just hanging on by their bare teeth to the bitter end. And I'm pretty sure I screwed up some of my analogies there, but the Baron buff has just been picked up by Lzuruha. It looks like a DT777 is going to check that out, reveal what has been happening, and now there's the Shurelias initially popped. There's the double Shurelias, and will they actually catch Galio up here? Yes, they will. He does have his Banshee's Veil, but that is actually popped by the shield. An excellent choice for the Chain Stun there from Scion, and actually he will get ulted, then will pop his ult, but Big McLarge Huge will be the next to fall, and surely this will be the push that will end it. I've said it so many times before, but I think this time there won't be anything that Berries Bananas will be able to do, and now the GG is called as the Nexus gets focused down. The Jester not actually autoing the Nexus like he should, but there it goes, and the game will finally go to Lzuruha.
Yeah, that was a wild one. They definitely could have ended it 10 minutes earlier, I think. But I think to troll me for making them wait, they made me wait. Every 2 minutes of their time is worth 10 minutes of my time, apparently, because they definitely could have ended that one a lot sooner. But still, a very dominating performance, just not as dominating as I think they could have made it as just some real sloppiness coming out there. And I'm curious what he has to say for himself. Or rather the team has to say for themselves, because that was really silly. For a team that could beat Curse Gaming, you would think that this would not be a problem for them, but it really didn't go as one-sided as I would have expected.